What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Dauntless Outdoors. In today's episode, we're diving out of Bradenton, Florida, and we're going out in the Gulf of Mexico. We're gonna be diving anywhere from 50 to 60 feet, maybe a little deeper at some points, but Biz looks pretty good, as you can see here. It's a calm day out. The trees are pretty calm. Calls for 1 foot seas, but we're gonna see how it goes, and we'll catch you guys at the first spot. Very calm out here. We're hoping for some decent days. We're not sure if we're gonna get that or not. Right now we're running about 6.5 miles, so not too far from the first spot, but see you guys there. Just got back in the boat, shot a pretty good gag. Nothing giant, but sadly I didn't get it on film. My camera's being a little weird. I gotta replace the SD on it for some reason, but we're gonna try that, and I'll catch you guys back in the water.
Good morning, everybody. Ben here. This is my first successful dive of the day. Conditions were really great today. We had like 1 foot seas like all day, and then towards the end of the day it actually completely slicked out. Viz started really good, and then as the day went on it got a little worse because it was an outgoing tide. But our setup here was I was working my way down the ledge on this side, and Josh was on the other side going the other way. Just kind of covering ledge line, going nice and slow. We're in that 40 to 50 foot range, keeping an eye out for grouper, just kind of slowly dissecting ledge, and hoping to bump into some hogfish, grouper, or snapper. This nice school of snapper kind of was curious of what I was doing. I think they might have seen my light and just kind of came right up to me. That big one caught my eye. He gave me a pretty good shot. I kind of tracked him with my second hand on the gun just to move a little quicker through the water. But got a nice shot off. Hit him a little low, but I knew I was through enough meat, so I wasn't really worried about him ripping off. I played him a little light, and then once I got him up, I got my hand on him. And good to go.
Hey guys, Josh here. This is my probably 4th dive, I want to say. And I'd already secured a pretty nice gag. It was up under the first part of the ledge that I checked. He was under a little overhang, and he was kind of just sitting there and gave me a pretty good shot. And then, as you saw in the last clip, Ben just secured a really nice snapper there. This pretty good snapper gives me a shot. I decided to take it, and I secure my first snapper of the day. Pretty good fish, and a really nice dive.
Hey guys, Ben again. This is my second successful dive of the day. A little bit of time had gone by, and I'd covered a good bit of ledge, and this kind of really dark part of the ledge was catching my eye. I was really curious to find a big grouper up under there, so I was checking a lot of that stuff and kind of wedging myself up under there, really looking for a big gag back in that crack. But while I was doing that, I realized all these snapper were checking me out. So I paused, took a little bit of time, started grunting, and just waiting to try and hopefully pick off a bigger snapper. This big snapper came in from my right side, super curious as to what I was, came right up to me, and then gave me a really nice shot right as he turned, shot him in his gill plate, and then he kind of ducked under that rock there, as you saw. He ended up going pretty far under the rock and actually looped on the other side, so I had to kind of take my whole arm, reach it all the way up under there, pop the line off the other side of the ledge, and then once I got that line free, he came right on out. As you can see, I hit him really well in the gills there. I think it was in his gills and out his eye, so he bled out before it even got to the surface. Homeboy was pretty much just dead, but really nice snapper there. After we shot that snapper, we just kind of moved out to a new spot. This was 65, 70 feet. As I got down to the bottom, this big solo snapper kind of caught my eye. He was trying not to get shot, trying to play it smart, putting his back towards me, but he ended up getting stoned. That gun's just so accurate. I've been so pleased with it. It wasn't the best shot, but I was really comfortable taking it, and worked out really well. I ended up stoning that fish. I think that was my biggest snapper of the day. And my third one of the day. So really nice snapper there. I think he came out to be 20, 21 inches, something like that, but really nice snapper. After shooting those, the viz started getting worse. We kind of moved in a little bit, and we were checking out another new sort of ledge area we hadn't dove in a little while. We've dove it before, but it'd been a while. This guy grouper caught my eye on the way to the bottom. He went up in that ledge, and then I kind of went to go look in there for him. His face was showing, so I backed out. It extended my gun, shot, and then I ended up hitting him pretty far back. I ended up hitting him in the tail because he started swimming, but still plenty enough for the shot to hold. Got my hands on him, slowly backed out, and then once I got out of there, I just made sure I had my hands on him, and that was that. Doing a quick little update while Josh is diving. As you can tell, we got red tide fish floating all over the place, so we're kind of in like a big red tide slick. But still fishy. Just shot our second grouper of the day, 26 inches. So I think we got 2 good grouper now, and 3 snappers. So Viz is a little better out deep than it was last weekend, but still not all that great. We're gonna keep diving here and then jump around a little bit, but as you can tell, it is a beautiful day. After wrapping up on that ledge, we headed to one of our last numbers of the day. We haven't dove this specific number since the opener of grouper season, so it had been a while. It was really good then, so we had really high expectations coming back, and it didn't let us down. There was grouper all over these. We checked up under these, and we ended up shooting 2 really nice grouper. The eye of a grouper kind of caught my attention. It was shining a little bit, so I extended my gun up under there, thumb shot, drilled him, pulled him out. The size of it just caught me off guard, so I lost it. I was so hyped. Just a really, really big grouper for this coast. So that caught me off guard. Plus, I couldn't believe I stoned it. Just a really, really cool experience. And we don't get them that size where we dive out of much at all either anymore. So I was just so hyped. That's actually my biggest grouper of the year out of like our home waters where we typically launch out of for the whole year. So super, super excited. Shot him on my new gun too, which just kind of added to the excitement. But shot that fish, took him back to the boat, and yeah, super great end of the day. So quick update, I just shot a 32.5 incher. I already put him in the cooler, so unfortunately you guys aren't going to see him till a little later, other than in my clip. And then Josh shot a really nice one, so I got to go swim over there with a gaff, which is a really good technique if you get a fish stuck in some sort of artificial or ledge way past where you can touch. That's why you keep a gaff on the boat. You can take a cheesy or crappy gaff and just stick it behind him, latch onto him, and pull him out when you can't reach him. So I'm gonna swim with my gaff. He needs some help, and we're gonna try and get his out. He said it's a really big gag, so we're gonna have 2 fat gags hopefully in the next 5-10 minutes here. So really exciting. Good fish. Good adjustment to get on some fish. So heck yeah, let's get back in the water.
Hey guys, Josh again. So Ben just secured that really nice gag. This dive was actually before he shot that gag, and I'm going down, checking out this little box here, and as I look up in there, I spot a really nice gag. Take the shot, it goes right through him, and he's kind of just in there at a really weird angle, so I couldn't get him out. And as you see, I'm just tugging, taking my time trying to pull him out of there, but no matter what I did, I couldn't get him out. I took a couple more dives after this trying to get him out, and I still couldn't. So, as you see here in a second, I head back up to the surface, and then this is another dive. I got my gun reloaded, so I went down there about 2 dives later, and I tried to pull the shaft and pull the fish out, but the shaft was completely already out of the fish. So I went up to the surface, reloaded my gun, and went back down, and as you see right here, secured another shot in him, lower into the meat. He didn't rip off on the first shot. He just, somehow the flopper closed and it just pulled out. But I just secured another shot into him. I didn't have a ton of time on the bottom there. I kind of just took a quick dive and made sure I secured the fish before he got off. And now I have that gaff that Ben was bringing me, and I sat down here for a while trying to pull him out of there, but I couldn't get him to move. I was tugging on his gill plate and I was trying to twist him, but that shaft was in there at a weird angle and I just couldn't get him to move. Luckily, Ben followed me all the way over here and he helped me get this fish out. I was gonna give it another dive, but Ben had already got it out on his first dive. So great teamwork, can't be happier with the outcome, and thank you guys for watching.
So thanks to Josh giving me a rundown on what the situation was. I knew what to do when I went down there. I pushed the grouper a little bit back just so he wasn't touching that post, and I had a little more room to work with. And then I pushed the shaft all the way to the grouper, so the shaft wouldn't want to bite when I go to pull him out. So once I got that shaft to him, I flipped the gaff around and then just stuck it on his head and pulled real hard so his head would clear and kind of turn away instead of want to hit that post. But his head cleared, pulled him right through that first gap, and then his head hit the second post. And then I just pushed his head to the left a little bit, and then, got my hand on the gag and the shaft and pulled the whole thing out. But, yeah, great end of the day. Really good fish. Josh's, I think, was a 13-something pounder, and mine was just under 17 pounds. So two really great grouper to end the day. Some of the biggest we've shot in a while off our coast, so just super exciting. Good job. And, heck of an end of the day. Nice gag. Ended up going 30 3/4. He was off in that tube. Took a little bit to get him out. Also shot him twice. Somehow the flopper closed and he pulled right through, and then shot him again, just a little bit lower. Finally secured him. Ben got the final dive and hooked me up there. Very good pair of gags off this spot. Open up that other side. The other one's hidden at the bottom, but another fatty in the cooler. Good gags. What's going on, y'all? Just finished up. Ben and I are getting clothes on. Got a 15-mile run back to the house. Got some decent fish. Viz was pretty bad at the end of the day. Some nice snappers, some nice gags. I mean, that's all we got today. We didn't get any hogfish or stuff like that. We were kind of hoping to find some, but it is what it is. And I'll see you guys back at the house. We're gonna do some fish cleaning and obviously gear. But see you guys. What's going on, y'all? Just got back to the house. Got 4 nice snapper there. 4 nice gags. Ben cooked the real fat one there. What was he? 16.9. Oh yeah. Joe's was 13 point. That guy. 13.3, I want to say. 13.3 or 13.5. Some pretty nice gags for the West Coast here. Thank you guys for watching. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe and drop a like, and we'll catch you in the next one.